Hello. Woo. Hey. Hey, Trips. One second. We are. There it is. And Jaden. Yeah. Where? Who is this ghost? It's Trips and Jaden. How is it going, you two? Nothing much. I'm just getting everything set. Behind the scenes, I'm just getting everything working. There it is. Ha. I went downtown last night. Yesterday, I thought for the heck of it, it was nice. Get out of the house a little bit. I picked this up, and I think we might use it today. I don't know if you can. There it is. It's fluid graphite. What? Angry meatball? Yeah. There's a specter haunting. Right? Isn't that cool? We might. I was thinking that we could eat. It's mixed. It's ink mixed with graphite, and I'm very curious to use it today. But we'll do that a little bit later. I want to kind of get warmed up first. Hello, Angry Meatball. Good to see you. Das Spectre haunting the unknown world. What else? Oh, okay. I made a potato souffle today. I was very proud of myself. I pretty much figured out the recipe on my own. Howdy, Angry. What about you guys? How's your days going? How are the days going? I went to the art store. As you can see by super long pencils. I'm not sure because on my monitor on the Twitch stream, I can see me. Jaden, do you just have something over like the cap? Oh, that pencil just disappeared. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Angry. I am. As it goes. As it goes, unfortunately. Oh, so that's what's going on. That's what's going on. But you're here now. We're going to kick back. We're going to relax. We're going to have some fun. Robin! Wreck No, wait. Rakin. Robin Rakin. That's. Robin Rakin. There it is. Okay, I got everything. So young people who are no longer who are in school usually. What have you been doing with your free time? Uh, Very good. Ugh, I've unfortunately slowed a little bit on my writing. I've got some stuff done, but I've slowed a little bit, and it's frustrating me. What have you been writing? The Beyblade thing? Beyblade. That's a collection of hollows that are actually somewhat difficult for me to say. Oh, boo, boo, what, boo? Yeah, cool. Yeah. What do you need, grandma? Grandma ain't important, is? See, see. No. Ugh. But it's summer. Very nice. There we go. Yeah, who cares about jobs? Yeah, show off. Ugh. Americans always bragging about how far they get to drive. Oh, so cool. Oh, fun. I randomly. Okay, I have a weird story. Not super weird, but weird enough to talk about. Um, uh, Last night, I was in my kitchen last night and I saw a black cat for a minute just stare at me. Like it just it came into the driveway and started to stare at me, and I didn't know what to do exactly. It was just there. I don't know why there was a black cat there. I think it's one of the neighbor. The neighbor has a cat that it lets out. Anyways, I did the blinking thing because I've. That's the one thing I know about how to deal with cats is to slowly blink at them. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, more to the point. Yeah. Oh, the unknown. I know it was very unusual. No, see the thing is though, I think the neighbor's cat is orange. I assume it's one of the neighbor's cats. Usually that's the explanation. But it was very weird. It didn't have a thing around it. Thing around it. Anyways, the reason I mentioned that is because have you guys ever seen Sabrina the Teenage Witch? I liked that show when I was a kid, and I had been rewatching some clips from it, and it looked very much like Salem the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yeah, which I was like, anyways, I'm very allergic to cats. Otherwise, I would have let it in probably. Unfortunately, I'm just quite allergic to them. Unfortunately, which is terrible because they are very cute. And Jaden, oh boy, yeah, I've been there too. Oh, the joy of having a dad who gets really mad while driving. All of the worst arguments I ever got into with my dad have been in the car. And I realized a few years ago that it's because my dad was fundamentally very scared of driving. Like just at a random second he would just scream because he was so nervous driving. But it's just like, ugh, what a terrible yeah, that's always one of those terrible experiences. It's just because you're like trapped in there with him and he's like, oh, why are you being Anyways, yeah, never that was never a fun experience for me. So I very much sympathize with that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your dog. So how goes the comic A? If you don't know, A is doing a comic about ghosts. Spooky, scary skeleton. Have you guys ever seen Hello, Bookworm Rar. Good to see you, good to see you. Yeah. How I think how are things going? Well, is your dog okay? Spooky, scary skeletons. Oh, damn it. Okay, yeah, I'm way behind. You're currently kicking my ass on that. Okay. I meant to go out today. I was tired. I just didn't feel like it. I'll go. Here's my promise. Tomorrow I'm gonna go. Oh, that's good. Okay, explain to me a little bit the project because I'm curious about your project. Yeah, I hate when that happens. It's going good. I went downtown last night. I just for fun because I felt like it. Um, Also a little bit. Sometimes you need to really get out of your head. Um, yeah. And I did some work and stuff. Um, I picked up art supply. I went to the art store. That's a little bit why I wanted to go downtown because there's a really good art store downtown. Not one. The best art store that's like within a few minutes of me is like Hobby Lobby, and I've sworn never to shop at Hobby Lobby. So, but fortunately, that means I go to like cool independent things now. So, but I always try if I can. I always try and avoid Hobby Lobby. Yes. Damn it. Okay, I'm jealous that you're doing that. I need to do that. Okay, I'm doing it. Yeah, that's what I felt when I was really intensely running is that it felt like really invigorating to do it. Hobby Lobbies are very bad company if you guys don't know. Anyways, maybe yeah, maybe one of the worst. Not to no, there's eh, probably best not to play that game, but it's a very bad company that does a lot of bad things to people. Okay. So it's a video game. That's very cool. Well, if you ever okay, hey, here's my promise. Um, obviously I'm not the biggest streamer, but if you ever get it finished, I would love to play it on here. Yeah. Yes. I know it's not like the biggest. I'm not like the biggest streamer in the world or anything, but I'd be very happy to play it on here. Very good. I have very good Robin. So, Book, I want to look at your thing, but I'm waiting for somebody to pop up here because I'm not as knowledgeable as poetry, but I have a friend who is, and we'll see if he pops up. Oh, thank you. Spooky, scary skeletons. Oh. For some reason, that song is stuck in my head. Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you. Yeah, I bring iced tea actually when I run. The reason I do that is because when I ran and I just drank water, by the end of the day I would be so tired I couldn't do anything else. But if I brought tea with me, if I brought iced tea instead, I could still get my day going. It's always time for spooky season. Hey, have you ever seen Over the Garden Wall? That's a question for everybody who's seen Over the Garden Wall, but I'm curious if A particularly has seen it because I think it would appeal to them directly. Oh, yeah, yeah. Should Oh, that's such a good show. I think you would like that a lot. Oh no, you know them. It's Callie. I want Callie to come in. Oh, that's such a. If you can, you should see that because I think everybody should see it. But two, it isn't it, it's just amazing. I love it so much. Book. I knew you were a person of fine taste. Yes. Uh, over. Oh, it's an animated show. It's hard to describe totally, but it's basically a. Yeah, I listen to that. I listen to the soundtrack to that all the time. I swear. I always try to put it like in a category because I'm always curious. It's Yeah, it's hard to describe without spoiling the plot, but it's kind of yeah, it is kind of hard. I would think it's kind of like um there. I'm always fascinated by genres that don't have a name to them, but are clearly are a thing that exists. Like recently, I got cottage core. Yes, that could be it, but I think there's more going on. I think it's a type of fantasy that exists, but doesn't really have a cogent name to it yet. Doesn't have it hasn't had really somebody Right. It's okay. So I call it I call it Americana fantasy. If that makes sense. I call it Americana fantasy. Is the name I kind of give it, or because it's a very distinct type of fantasy that's rooted more in American writing than English writing. With I feel like Washington Irving is a big reference point for some Washington Irving and Nathaniel Hawthorne are two kind of big reference points. Yeah, yeah, but it's a distinct because it's not Southern Gothic, which is its own thing. It's a distinct thing. It's a distinct. It's like the Eastern U.S. branch of Southern Gothic, almost like Eastern Gothic. Maybe is the word we could use. I like trying to like figure out new genres because I have another one. I have another one. I'm trying to give definitive name to, but it's so uh, yeah. Washington Irving, I think, is a big reference point for a lot of these. Like the most obvious is the Headless Horseman. The original Headless Horseman is a big hint of where these sort of stories come from. Have you guys ever read Nathaniel Hawthorne? In school, they usually make you read one of his books. Anyway, yeah, Cottagecore, I guess, yeah, but it's more. No, it's more. It's there's a distinctness to it that's hard to. Yeah. Anyways, um, well, but Gothic is a very specific thing. Usually, Southern Goth, but Gothic usually implies old world countries, whereas like the distinction with Southern Gothic um, is usually Gothic tropes in Old South, whereas like see that's why I don't like Gothic because it's like Gothic usually has a theme of decay, and it's not really decay. It's like okay, so that's why I say it's a hard thing to figure out. It's a hard thing to really put a name to, but it's Americana fantasy is the best word I can describe it yet, but this is a genre that exists. It's out there. It's just hidden. It's a hidden genre. See, Gothic works so well in the south. Yeah, yeah, but it's not Gothic meat. That's the thing. It's not really Gothic. It has elements of Gothic, but there's more. It's a type. It's a type of fan. It's a type of fantasy that it's a type of fantasy that exists. See, in my head at least, Gothic is always like Wuthering Heights is a very good example of Gothic. Maybe Gothic, yeah. No, I don't think so. I'm just looking at what else is considered Gothic. It's not, but it's not. It's not that. Although it is that. That's what I'm saying. It's sort of a hidden genre. Cause, no, it's Callie. It's Callie is the one I'm looking for. I'm looking towards. He always pops up. He should be here. I mean, if he isn't here in a while, if he isn't here, I'll give him like. It's beautiful. Yeah, we're talking about Over the Garden Wall, which definitely could be categorized as gothic, but I think there's something bigger. I think there's a different genre going on in it. Yes, it's absolutely. Yeah, we're talking about Over the Garden Wall. It's an animated show. I categorized it as Americana fantasy, but I feel like there's even a better genre descriptor for it because it. Oh, you guys. Yes, I know. Maybe it is gothic. I don't know because it's no, it's. Let's see. Okay, let's ask the all-knowing computer. I might be wrong on this, but I think there's a more specific genre than what we are. What genre is Over the Garden Wall? Not over the garden. Said what? Over the Garden Walmart. This calls it a dark fantasy. Wikipedia calls it a dark fantasy. That might be something. Dark fantasy, comedy, drama, mystery. Yes, I do. I do judge you, Jaden. Might be. It's just I feel if it's gothic though, it is. If it's gothic though, it's a distinct type of gothic. It's its own. It's a distinct gothic. It's a distinct gothic though. It's a distinct gothic. It's a distinct gothic in the way that like Southern Gothic is a distinct gothic because it plays with different. It's playing in the same wheelhouse, but it plays with different ideas. But I also think, yeah, yeah, I agree. But I think okay, so to me, one of the interesting things about it is it's a fantasy series, but it's not a European fantasy. It's an American fantasy. And that's a rare thing you see. That you don't really get to see that as often as you notice. So most fantasy works kind of in a mold of a fantasy England of some sort, usually. or if not England, a fantasy Europe. You don't know, a fantasy Europe. And I find it very interesting that it has all the tenements of a fantasy, but it's working out of a distinctly Americana vibe, as opposed to say a as a European. It's like, because wherever they are, and I don't want to say too much. Wherever they are, they're in the U.S. They're in the U.S. It feels about like 18. It feels like about the 1800s U.S. But that's where they are. Anyways, sorry. Got onto a specific thing I'm fascinated with. Yeah, again, but that's one of the distinct things about this is it has more of an it's Grimm's is very it definitely is influenced by that, but one of the distinct things about it is it's yes, it's more influenced by American fiction than by. It has a distinct influence by early American fiction, particularly Washington Irving is the one I noticed. It seems to take a lot of its influence from. There's another author it takes clear influence from, but if I say who it is, it kind of spoils what's going on, so I won't. Although once you pick up on who it is, what the story is a reference to, it's pretty hard to not notice it. No. Uh, it's no. It's oh, how dare you? Sorry, I'm distracted. Anyway, sorry. I got off. What? Jaden, what? Jaden, what? Jaden, what? Jaden, what? Jade, what? Jade, what? 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 Yeah, because we're old, Tashi. We're old. Of course, we've seen it in theaters. Okay, everybody here, confess to me now who's seen it and who hasn't. Ugh, don't bother. Don't bother. You don't really have to bother with that, Itachi. Hey, what? 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 You? What? 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 No, what? You can't. But oh, good, good. Sorry, I was like, but I was about to say, Book. You haven't seen them either. What is this? What is this? What is? I was like, what is this? What are we doing? Yeah. Yeah. The Hobbit. It's like one. It's yeah. That was not a book that was a book that could maybe handle two movies at most. That was not a book that could handle more than that. You don't need to see The Hobbit. The film trilogy is great. You don't really need to see The Hobbit though. Oh, thank God. Yeah. Yeah, The Hobbit. I don't know. The Hobbit, the book is great. That's a really lovely book, but the movie is the movies are just unfortunate. Uh, you young people. Yes, I have to. You young. I was actually thinking of going back and trying to reread them because I realized I haven't read the books since I was like, what, 18, 15, 16, 18? I don't remember exactly when I read them, but I haven't read the books since I was like a kid. Kid. Yeah, but Lord of the Rings is better. It's better than Harry Potter. It's the better movie. There, I said it. That's my opinion. I think Lord of the Rings are better movies. I, I don't care for Harry Potter. But anyways, uh, okay. So you know what's going through my head right now? It's like, could we just pirate? Could I just play the Lord of the Rings right now? And I'd be like, I'd get in so much trouble. Who has like a pirated copy? Could we play like Return of the King right now? Not particularly interested in spending a lot of time discussing Harry Potter. We don't need to go into depth about them, but I mean, animated movies are great. I love animated movies. I just would never. I get, but yeah, I need to. I just like, oh, man, would I get in trouble for playing them on here? Like, would I get in trouble for playing them on here? Would that get me in trouble? I don't. I went to New Zealand, guys, to see where they filmed it. Yeah, I was in the right age group for the. I don't know. I don't. I don't. I won't get too. You know what? Fuck it. You know, screw it. I hate J.K. Rowling. I hate J.K. Rowling. I think she's a very bad person who has a very noxious philosophy, and I don't like her. And I was always lukewarm on Harry Potter to begin with, and ever since that happened, I'm like, well, anyways. So I just yeah, I don't doesn't J.K. Rowling does not like trans people. That is that is the thing with that. Anyways, so, but yeah. Anyways, yes, I'm judging. I'm judging you. I'm judging you harshly. What are you talking about? AAA. Here's the thing. Famously, movie studios are super cool if you play their movies and they don't get any money for them. Yeah. They're famously very cool with that. From my understanding of the way copyright works, studios love it when you do that and appreciate it immensely. So I think we would be okay if we did it. Ooh. Yeah. Well, they're all more interesting than Gryffindors. Okay, which is the worst fandom? That is a contentious argument because there's a lot of them that are bad out there. What do you guys think? Jaden has a theory. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Snyder fans are pretty bad. They are pretty bad. Which is funny because I don't even think like Zack Snyder himself really appreciates that, but that doesn't really matter anymore. Uh, there are a lot of very bad fan bases out there. The main fans? Who are the main fans? Is that fans of yeah. Yeah, well, nobody saw it. I was just like, yeah, but okay, so like almost nobody. So what? Nobody's gonna show up. Yeah, nobody showed up to watch the Snyder film. So that not getting that demographic, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's like maybe more people will show up because they don't have to deal with them. Anyways. Yeah. Oh, Magic the Gathering. Yeah, Magic the Gathering went pretty bad. I was Yeah, I made a video about Magic, a trend in Magic the Gathering that I think is a trend in a lot of things. But anyways, yeah. Oh my god, that's so cool. Oh, I love how of course it's a of course they made it with AI. Um, it is funny if I could about the Snyder stuff that we live sort of in an alternative that the Snyder fans seem to live in an alternative universe where the Snyder stuff was universally beloved. It was the biggest hit. It was a huge hit, and the only reason that people and James Gunn is this hack who doesn't understand things. Where in the real world that everybody else lives in, the Snyder stuff all pretty uniformly bombed. Uh, to all pretty uniformly bombed. Cost far too much money. Cost a lot more money than they brought in. And a movie with the combined power of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman didn't do as well as a Thor movie, who has been traditionally in comics like a third stringer. Whereas Batman a few years ago literally was the star of one of the most successful films of all time. So I'm like I listen. I get people liking stuff and being disappointed it doesn't get to keep going. I've been there before. There's plenty of things I love that got canceled because nobody watched them and nobody cared. I still hold out a hope that someday maybe The Middleman could come back, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. But by the way, if you guys go watch The Middleman if you've never seen The Middleman, but yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's like it I'm trying to be the nicest as I can. It didn't do well. It didn't do well. It just Yeah. It was a flaw. It was the movies kept flopping. The movies kept flopping, and as much as like sentiment is, these superhero movies are very big, very expensive, and you just, unfortunately, if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and eventually new people need to be brought in. So, like, I'm sorry, but this is just the way. And Gunn, as opposed to Snyder, has definitive successes in the superhero genre, and arguably, I would argue, in my opinion, has made some of the best superhero movies out there. So, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are much better than Snyder's films. I've never been a particular fan of Snyder, and I've never been a particular fan of him from since Watchmen. Really, I've seen quite a few of Snyder's movies, and yeah, and I've always found Snyder to be somewhat. I have found. So here's the ultimate irony. I think Snyder's best movie is his first one. It's I always forget. It's the Day of the Land of the Dead. It's Day of the Dead. I always forget. It's which one it is. It's a Day of the Dead remake. That it was his first one. It was the Day of the Dead remake that he made. That was his best one. Not Day of the Dead. It was. Anyways, that's his best one. And do you guys know who wrote that? Do you guys know who wrote Snyder's best movie? Follow me, people, because I'm a... Guys, do you know who wrote Zack Snyder's best movie? Follow me, people, because I'm about to lay a big twist on you. It was James Gunn! Dun dun dun! James Gunn is just a better writer than Snyder is. Ideally, them teaming up would probably make a pretty cool... I think Snyder is a good visual... Has Dawn of the Dead. Thank you. That's the one I remember. Dawn of the... Sorry, they all have sort of similar names. I think Snyder is an interesting visual artist who could potentially be... But he's just not a strong... This is going to sound mean. I don't know. Maybe mean. But... I think in some ways, Snyder is kind of a similar guy in directing to George Lucas. Well, Snyder is a terrible writer. It's just a fun. Snyder is just fundamentally quite a bad writer. In fact, he has no idea how to He has no idea how to structure a movie. Batman v Superman is horribly structured. And he's pretentious too. That's also a problem with Snyder. Is he's quite pretentious. His dialogue is quite pretentious, and he has a... Anyways. Yeah. Yeah, and the problem is with Cavill. It was a great pick for Superman, but he wasted him, and I think Gunn is right in that Cavill is just now too old to start. They need to start over, and Cavill is just too old. That's why he's gone with the new guy. That's why he's gone with they need to sort of start over, and Cavill is just too old. Anyway, the thing is, I just don't get, for how boring his Superman movie was, I don't get the level of like fervor that Snyder attached himself. I just don't think Snyder's that great. Anyways. But, and a lot of his fans are... I mean, if you want to look at somebody... Yeah. But Cavill's doing fine. He's moved on. He's going to be in a Warhammer show. He has his own stuff he's doing. I think the Snyder fanboys would probably get really into Warhammer. could probably get quite into Warhammer. They would miss some of the they would probably miss a lot of the satire that is involved with Warhammer. But it's a good. I feel like I don't know enough about Warhammer to totally comment, but from my understanding, from what I've seen of it, yeah, I mean, angry. If you really, if I think we're all dancing around what the real thing is. Zack Snyder is kind of a bad director, but he would make a good cinematographer. I think is the real answer. I think we're all dancing around dancing. I think everybody dances around this, but Zack Snyder, I don't think should be a director. I think he should stay. He should have stayed a cinematographer. Zack Snyder would be awesome working with a better director to achieve a cool look. Like I imagine like a director. I don't know. I imagine like Ridley Scott. I was thinking Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott with like a Zack Snyder cinematography could make a really cool movie. Or Gil de Tormo could use Snyder's skills quite well. I just don't. I'm just gonna be honest. I just don't think Snyder's the guy. I don't think he's the guy who can direct his own stuff. I think he'd be a great cinematographer for somebody else. And meet you are 100% right and nailing. You're 100% right, and yeah, you're 100% right, and that's the sign, and that's an obvious sign of a guy who should not have been a director and should have been just a cinematographer. Hey, Faye, good to see you. What up? Please, we're hanging out. We're talking comic books. Zack Snyder, as all conversations must eventually be. Just drawing a random character. Just gonna see where it takes me. Yeah. F to the A to the D to the E. Yeah. Ugh. I'm just thinking. I was just thinking. God, would that be good, or would that be over? Would that be the most overdone sort of like filming ever? Like with that doing that, like it might. Yes, I'll let the art consume me. Letting Snyder cinema do work the camera for uh, Michael Bay might make the most incomprehensible movie ever. Yeah, he would have been a better Batman guy, but I don't really particularly like his take on Batman. But he would make more sense as a Batman guy, even though I don't like his take on Batman all that much. Yeah. Well, the scant jobs I've gotten in the film industry have all been cinematographer jobs, so nothing good, unfortunately. I knew it, Fade. But see, oh, thank you. Hopefully, see, what was I about to say? Meatball. That's really funny because you may have proposed the most cursed movie ever. Snyder doing cinematography. Well, I don't even know if that film would be comprehensible to look at. Wait, are you in Italy? Oh. Wait, are you really in Italy, Fate? Are you like on a trip? That's cool. What game were you playing, Gay? Oh. Yeah. Well, Bay. Oh. If Bay famously overloads his shots all too much, which is a thing Snyder also kind of does. Like Bay always tries to make everything look as big as possible. I've been to Italy. Oh, you are Italy. You are the entire nation of Italy. That makes sense. It's a shame because Snyder has some interesting ideas visually. Yeah. So does the Marching Band stuff start? Okay. When does that stuff start? Oh, poor little family. Makes sense. Yeah. They're superhero fans just get so obsessed with things. What are you talking about? Superman is very realistic. Everything that happens in Superman is real. It is everything that happens in Superman is real and occurs in real life. Superman is a real guy that exists. I don't know what you're talking about, Jaden. Eh, this too shall pass, though, Jaden. Remember, this too shall pass. All things must pass. Yes, it seems like you were. Yes, Lex Luthor real, Kryptonite real. It's a. Oh, I love that. I love Grant Morrison so much as a writer. I like that story. I like that story. I like Grant Morrison. They are a very, very great writer. Oh, ads over on Twitch. Some people might not see it, but ads on Twitch. See, you YouTube guys are lucky. Over here on YouTube, you don't see the ads. You don't see the ads that the Twitch people have to sit through. So we can chill, we can hang for the next 3 seconds before they get back. Yes, it is. It is. It really is. Um, really, almost anything. I no, I don't think I have. But yes, almost any. Grant Morrison writes so many good things. No, I have not. Tell me about it. Tell us. Oh, very interesting. Honestly, that looks. It's also you gross. What you gross? What? But that's crypto has been whatever. They're not real fans. They're jump on. They're Johnny Come Latelys who don't get Superman and how weird Superman comics are. Honestly, this looks like kind of a book up my alley. The Wave from... Fade, sometimes talking to you, it feels like I'm talking to, I don't know. Oh, because Superman has a dog. Superman has a dog in the new movie. And the dog is part of Crypto, the super dog. Crypto, the super dog, has been part of the Superman stuff. Superman has always had a dog. Crypto, the super dog. He's had a dog since like the 30s, I think. Not the 30s, like the 40s. I don't know. I don't remember exactly when Crypto got introduced, but yeah, there's Crypto the super. No, it is James Gunn's rescue dog. That's his actual dog. No, I'm just not. Oh no. I'm just like no. That's always been part. Superman is the reason. Yeah, Crypto is a good boy. I do too. I like dogs. Yeah, no. Okay. There's yeah. Okay, there's Crypto the super dog, there's Streaky the super cat, and then there's the worst one, which is the super horse. Unfortunately. The super horse is unfortunately the worst one. Because that I hope they never adapt the stupid horse, because I hate the stupid horse so much, and I've tried to make several videos about him, but I'm always well he has all of Superman's powers. Oh, okay. Yeah, but people suck. You got to remember, like, anyways, 1955. That's pretty old. No, I just like the Super Horse because it's a creepy character. If you don't know, um, uh, uh, it's a whole story. From having a super horse to making it very creepy. Um, because Jaden, that's not really the point of what they're doing. Um, okay. Yes, geek time. I'm trying to explain because you're gonna hate this story when I tell you. Okay, so uh, okay, so the super horse is actually a cursed. Okay, so Supergirl's horse is actually a cursed centaur who was turned into a horse, by a witch, and the horse is actually in love with Supergirl, and it just does nothing but it says all these incelly things about her all the time, even though Supergirl doesn't know it's a person, and it got changed into a person once and tried to romance her. That didn't work out, and then it also tried to romance Lois Lane. So yeah, it's a whole thing. It's oh, that's cool. Faye, do you know who Fellini is? Federico Fellini. I took a whole class on Federico's. No, Jaden, they're all like that. Superman. I have read a shocking amount of old timey Superman comics. Old timey older Superman comics, and I love. Yes, there's a lot of things. Oh my god, AAA. There are a lot of things. There are so many things. It's so funny. Superman comics are great because they're quite absurd. Ask away. Okay, so one of my favorite issues is the introduction of Zod. Okay, if I could explain, I need to explain a little bit how the introduction of Zod works. So, you guys know Zod, General Zod of Krypton. Anyways, so the issue where he's introduced is Clark finds some Kryptonian things, finds some Kryptonian weapons, old Kryptonian artifacts, and he starts okay. Oh god, it's so ridiculous. I have to explain this all. Okay. Okay, the issue opens up with Clark explaining to Lois that he bought a new typewriter. And this new typewriter can pick up on electric signals. Okay. Well, and the only reason the thing ends is because you chose to stop it there. Okay. This is a vitally important plot. We'll get to that in a second. This is a vitally important plot point. You must remember this. So, he finds some Kryptonian artifacts. One is an enlarge array, and one is a portal to the Phantom Zone. So, what Clark decides to do is just randomly shoot things with the enlarge array. And he randomly shoots a lizard. One of a pair of lizards, and it grows to exponential. It grows super big, and is about to attack a nearby town. So Clark throws it off a cliff. But because the lizard's partner is so angry, it turns on the Phantom Zone, and Clark gets sucked into the Phantom Zone. And that's where he meets General Zod for the first time. And then he gets out of the Phantom Zone, but he's still stuck as a phantom. But and this is, remember the typewriter I said? He decides he can communicate with Lana Lang by using a herefore unmentioned superpower of having control over electrons to send an electronic typewriter message so that they can get him out. And that's the plot. Yeah, off a cliff. And that's the plot of a Superman comic. It's just like it's just, or like there's one where like Jimmy Olsen gets turned into a turtle man and starts destroying things, and then it's like, well, how do we fix this turtle man thing? And the solution is, oh wait, we forgot to mention this. Right at the end, it turns out Atlantis was behind it, and it's an illegal Atlantean scientist. But we had never mentioned that Atlantis was even part of this. It's so. These are what these comics are like. Book. They're all like this. These are all stories that they just. It seems they plan nothing ahead. Just whatever comes into their mind, they just do. It's amazing. Superman, nevermore. No, Jane, I think the real story is this. They need to get issues out. They need to get issues out as quickly as possible, and they don't really have time for it to make sense. They just go drift to sleep, never. They don't have time for it to make sense. They just like, well, whatever it is. Okay, dinosaur thing. Fabe, I gotta admit, that's a pretty hardcore, pretty great little thing. You pretty much summed up the entire plot of that Superman comic. I don't know if that was the intention, but that's pretty. Wait, is this your? Did you do that? It's good. Good emoji. Okay. Yeah. Ugh, we need like character. We need. They want like characters and stuff. Character development and more serious. Yeah. I mean, there's very good things about comics today. Like, ironically, for how fun Superman comics were back then, I find Batman comics to actually be quite tedious. I've read a good deal of like Silver Age Batman comics as well, and I find them actually to be quite tedious. I think the darker take on Batman is the better take usually. The more gothic take on Batman is the better take. Because like some people really talk up how fun the Batman comics were back then. Yeah, but I read them and I was like, these are actually quite tedious to get through. Whereas the Superman comics exude weirdness out of every pore of their being. Yes. Was that, I don't think that was the 30s. That feels more like a 60s thing. When did Batman put on the rainbow suit? I guess they brought it back recently, which is fun. Everybody should. Yeah, this they brought it back recently, but where I want to see the original because it's quite fun. 1957. That was in 1957. Yeah, that feels more like a. That feels more. But where's the original? There's there it is. Yes, it is. There we go. Batman in a rainbow suit. Anyways, what am I talking about? Math is bad. I agree with you. Math is bad. What does Pink Kryptonite do? I don't remember all of them because they all do different things. What does Pink Kryptonite do? Oh, it causes a Kryptonian to temporarily change gender. Okay. Yeah, it causes yeah. But yeah. Yeah. I think it now causes yeah. At least that's what Google says. I don't know. It all does different things. Superman. What was I saying? So, anyways, that's why. I guess what I'm saying is that those guys who are complaining it's not accurate to the Superman comics, it's not accurate to the Superman comics. Superman comics are really, really weird. No adaptation has really been accurate to the Superman comics. We've never seen a real adaptation of Superman because Superman comics are fucking loony. They're strange. They're strange creatures. It's a very strange comic full of very strange stories. It's why it's so good, but not to say that Superman adaptations have been bad. I do find it funny. Yes, they do. If you guys ever want to read like a good Superman take that embraces the weirdness of Superman comics but does it in its own way, Alan Moore has a series called Supreme, which is basically an updating of Silver Age Superman, but told in a more coherent '90s, post '90s comic book style. We tolerate you, Fate. I'm sure there are much more people than you think. Fade. World would be. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Ask that again. And then we gotta ask that question. Ask the question. I saw it, but right about the ending. I don't know if it feels like the right ending. It feels like the right ending, Jaden. Sometimes it ends where it ends. That would be my answer. I think they're playing a game right now. Yeah. End it there and then make a sequel later, Jaden. That's make a sequel later if that's what you want to do. Yeah, they're playing. Oh, there they are. Hey, you're around. I didn't realize that you were making a full-on game. I thought you were just making a comic. By the way. Yeah. Better end on a high note than drag it on for too long, is my opinion. Do it, Robin. Do it. Yes, you are a. It's like you're a god watching all us mortals. Tell me, aren't the Blue Devils in? Where do you want to go? By the way, I'm using no references for this, and I am very, yeah, very cool. Okay, I know what those schools are right off the top of my head, not secretly looking them up right now to see what you're talking about. Yes, Eastern Tennessee State University or... Oh, University of Tennessee. But don't the Blue Devils play out of Duke? Or am I wrong? No, I am wrong. Yeah, no. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using references, but it's nice to see what you can do without. Right, yes, the blue coats. Sorry, Fade. Sometimes it's hard to keep up exactly with all this stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using references, but it's good to know that I built up enough memory to like be able to draw characters pretty much better than what I used to be able to. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty stuck with reference. I usually use references, but I'm trying lately to like just make sure I do every once in a while do a couple of drawings without them to see where I actually am, and see what I can do on my own. Yeah. Okay. What am I commanded to do? Oh, commend. So, uh, I like the fact that all three of you are getting along over here on YouTube quite well. Yes, I'm glad. Okay, come on. Yes, you should. Okay. I want to kind of try. I don't know. I think I'm creating a superhero. I think that's what I'm doing. Is I'm making a superhero. Since life is fundamentally about superheroes. So, anybody playing any new games lately? Okay. I do owe. Very cool. Okay. Yes, it is. It's actually a little late. Red Dead Redemption. Ooh, very good. I have a feeling which character you probably like the most, Fade. Yes, it is. It's actually pretty late for me. It's actually pretty. I didn't mean to start this time, but inexplicably, because usually I aim to start around 6. I aim to 6 or 7 is when I'm trying to start. But I just was tired all of a sudden. I was just tired all of a sudden, and I just kind of collapsed. Oh, I kind of. Uh, what about Red Dead? Okay, I suspect you haven't got to this character yet. Oh, I kind of thought. Yeah, I assumed you were gonna like somebody else. Maggie. Yeah, I haven't played any new games in a while. I haven't played any new games in a while. I want to play. I want to play some new games. Ah, I was gonna play Marathon, but apparently that's not. Have you guys been following that? Man, what a disaster! Everybody's mad about that game. I mean, I'm mad too. I'm mad too about that game a little bit, but for old man reasons, not. Well, the plagiarism is obviously gross, but I remember thinking the original Marathon games were quite cool. Have you guys been following this whole Marathon stuff? Okay. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Is it? What is that game like? Worm, by the way, I'm just looking at your poetry. This is pretty. I didn't realize this is what your poetry was going to be about. Guys, do you want to hear? Do you want to hear some of Book's poetry? Oh. Well, wait. I'll wait. I'll see if Book wants. Uh, okay. I'll wait till Book responds. But I do have it up here, Book. If you yeah, if you want me to, if you want to look at it, because I was waiting for. I was hoping Callie usually pops up in these streams, and I was hoping Callie would pop up today so I could have somebody who's a bit more knowledgeable about poetry than me on here, but I guess not. Okay. Have you guys tried being an only child like I am? I'm an only child. Only it's just me and my it was just me and my parents, and now it's just me and my mom. Oh, I got your poetry out. You wanna look over some? You wanna look over it? Your poetry. I've got your poetry here. You want me to read some? Bookworm's Poetry Collection, Fallout Poems. Yes, it is a crime. Okay. I didn't realize this is what the subject was. This is first of all, an absolutely great subject for a poem. Okay. Fallout Poems start. A super mutant ripped open Nick's chest and saw something shiny and pulled it out before Nick was able to land a headshot. This is a poem about what happens next. His heart in his hands, trying to put it back in his chest, slipping and falling, it keeps beating while the sand slows down, speeds up, trickles through the hourglass. His servos click, click, click. His jaws snap shut. He couldn't scream even if he wanted to. The same old thought through his head again. Why did they program me to feel pain? And again, is he broken? Hills had ventures. His hand ventures into the gaping entryway carved into his chest. But the place back in, no click, no feeling of peace, not yet. An organizing timer of red numbers counts down in his head. The coolant is slick. He hasn't. He can't. He reaches with the other hand. Finally, he's able to think. Not breathe. Not ever breathe again. And he wishes he could cry. Oh, darn, I didn't see that. Oh, okay. Sorry. That's annoying. Actually, that's a really good poem. Is it? It might. No, that's really good. Sometimes I get lost in poetry, but that's really good. Have you guys ever played Fallout? This is about these are characters from Fallout. Is there an ad going on there? Okay. Fallout is great. Truly one of the most fun franchises. Was there an ad book? Because we just read through yours. You're the first one. Yeah, sometimes I have trouble following poetry, but I could really follow this one. Yeah. The color of a rose. Once blood rushed through his wires. Back there were his Back then they were veins, blushing away all those old aches and errors. Oh, back then they were pains, bringing life to remaining sensor, bringing life to each remaining sensor. The color of a rose, helping solve many of the problems. There had been lots of those. The world keeps on spinning, and so does his head. Hundreds of years or thousands of days, long after Nick Valentine is dead. Yeah, these are really good. I like them a lot. Okay. First time seeing the sky. A poem about my original synth character Icarus escaping the Institute when the railroad blows to hell. As he awakes along the way, sleep is calling, crying his name. He is cold without and within. The bruise is pulling at his skin, striking into the heart he longs to hold. And what he's lost. Well, what he's lost is nothing good, nothing worthwhile to hold on to, but it was everything. So he mourns the harsh words, strict schedule, straight lines and loneliness, clean colors, tasteless food, glances that look past him to celebrate the cloud of death. Maybe not. but for the first time someone called him by his name. The first piece of clothing, his and only his, the feeling of warmth, part physical and so real. When he put on his jacket, when he put his jacket on, feeling like someone, not something, maybe. Nothing, never a something again, and clings like a drowning man to everyone around him. Instead, him pulling them down to ride up together. They come out of the light to the sun until the sky holds them. That was very good. Touch. Okay. Torchwood. Wow, that is an old name that I remember. I remember from long ago. The stories of Torchwood, of Torchwood. That is a blast from the past. Okay, a sweet and simple moment. Nothing can really touch. Is in the bathroom. Ray and Aito out to lunch. Arwen sitting quietly, chewing on Jack's coat. Her little face speaks wonders to his life he loves so much. He wonders what the future will bring, if he'll ever get up the courage to give Aito that ring that shines up at him from his pocket, blue and silver around his finger. Then one day, Arwen cries she's missing her dad. Jack can tell when he gets back. Race spins her around until Gwen chimes in to slow it down. He gives Aito a kiss, warm and full of love, and they all sit on the couch watching a movie and enjoying each other's company. Okay. These are very good. And then we got one longer one. Okay, let's do this. He drowns in a wild feeling, or is it more violent than that? The emotion he is feeling isn't the water. If it is, it's that and more. It's the weight that is holding him under, the pressure in his lungs when he cannot breathe, the eroding darkness that crowds his view. He is drowning, every second wasted, and not reaching out for help is another one risk to oblivion. Does his body... I will. We'll look at that next. Thank you. I'm bad with names. Okay. Does his body know how to swim? Had he never really learned, he can struggle regardless, feeling against the tide, trying to fight, against the overwhelming urge to give in. He cannot kill the forces pushing him under. He knows this fact well, but maybe one day the current will slow. Feels like there's a chance for a rhyme there. The sea is solid, an immovable object. The sea is fluid, with a will all its own. Manic and crazy, and oh so predictable. It scares him. At times he loses hope, but he still catches a breath. Still he lives. The sunlight shines against the surface of the ocean. Brilliant, blinding, it hurts his eyes. And he'd rather this than the night or the cold. The sun is a silent companion, a welcome one nonetheless. Each gasp of air above the line of water feeds him, bringing him much needed relief. He needs these moments, the respite, the constant attack, or on who he thinks he is, and he dreams he had what he could be. Oh, a man cannot live on relief alone, but it's a start. He treads water as long as he can. He catches his breaths. He thinks calming thoughts. There is no real catalyst. Or maybe he's forgotten. Though no fault of his own, he was submerged in the depths. He keeps on trying the best he can. He follows the light towards the horizon. Maybe he's getting better at this. He must be. If he is still here, he must be. He drowns in a wild feeling, or It's slower than drowning. The struggle he's having isn't quite that. If it is, it's that and more. If it is, it's taken to get to the. It's the time that it's taken to get to this point. The long ago glimpse of the beach. His forever racing heart. He is drowning, and every second he spent trying is another moment worth living for. That's beautiful. Book, gee, that's beautiful. That's great. That might be your best, honestly. That might be the best one. Oh, dang. No worries. Okay. Uh, I very much want to look at your things, but I think we'll save that for another. We'll save that for another day. But let's finish up this bit of poetry reading with yeah. My voice is getting a little my voice is getting a little tired. How about I want to look at your things, but let's maybe we can do that tomorrow. But fades is short, so let's see. Here I sit. Here I sit in smelly vapor. Someone took the toilet paper. Late for class. Oh, but I still linger. Look out, blank. Here comes my fingers. Oh, that's funny, Fade. No, I really enjoyed the book. That I guessed. That feels very a lost genre. The only true great art form, as Kurt Vonnegut argued in God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, is bathroom poetry. So I didn't expect to think of Torchwood this late in the year 2025. That is a show that I have not thought about in a long time. Yes, it's. I imagine. Yeah. Well, Kurt Vonnegut, a very important famous author, argued in one of his books that the only true art is bathroom stall poetry. That is the real American art form. Yeah. No, no, that's good. Did you? That show? Well, they find yeah that show that was an interesting one. Doctor Who attempting. Do you guys watch Doctor Who? Young people in the audience, do you know what Doctor Who is? I will say, I really like the way the visuals of your thing. I think that's really cool. The way you have it visually set up. Good, good. I like Doctor Who a lot. I've watched a lot of Doctor Who in my time. I kind of fell off with the Moffat seasons. I didn't. I really like I really like the little fancy man that they had for the Doctor. What's his name? What's his name? It's very cool. Okay, go to sleep. Matt Smith, aka he's in the new Game of Thrones thing. I liked him a lot, but the Moffat seasons kind of. It's not fair to say that Moffat seasons were bad because there's a lot of good stuff. My God, the Moffat seasons got diff- Oh yeah, but I was a fan of Peter Capaldi before that. It's so weird to think that he's like the Doctor now, but I was a big fan of The Thick of It, the show he was in before the. Anyways, yeah. I think my favorite is David Tennant, but it's just like because he's kind of the definitive modern Doctor. But you know, I do really love Peter Capaldi. Fade, who's your favorite Doctor? It's very cool. I've written some poetry before in my life. Not, I don't know. I don't think I'm that great of a poet, and I know it. Uh, my specialty, I think usually I'm better at like narrative stuff. Like I can help with. I know a lot about narrative and the way narratives work. Have you ever seen Doctor Who? Oh yeah, that's the newest one. Yeah, that's the newest one. Yeah, he's good. People are being weird. I don't know. I dislike modern fandom stuff so much. It's so, people are so weird about everything. People are being weird about him. Oh, it's a good show. Okay, so it's been on since the '60s. So to understand it fully, no, but it's been on since it's so it's about a time traveling uh, time traveling alien who travels around space and history to see in a police box to see the world, to see the entire history of human, and he periodically brings in and he has periodically has brought in humans as his companions to accompany him on his journeys throughout the world. Throughout history and space. It's pretty fun. It can be pretty fun. And also, and so if he dies, he regenerates into a new form. Uh, just they know. If they die, they generate into a new form. And this way, that's the trick. So that they can bring in new actors once the current person playing the Doctor is tired of it. Yes. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. Although I feel it had a drop off somewhere. I don't know. I blame Stephen Moffat, but I also blame him for most problems in the world. But no, don't you hate it? I'll throw this out there. Don't you hate it when a writer you like kind of gets bad? Like that's kind of my feeling with Moffat as of late. That's kind of my feeling with Moffat is like I really liked him I've liked him as a writer for a while, long time. I'm always, when I was a kid, I was always so jealous of my friends who had siblings. I always really wanted a sibling. Uh, it's lonely to be an only child. I do have to say, it's very lonely to be an only child. It's funny if you read uh, a lot of my writing as a kid, and even now, it pops up every once in a while. You'll see a lot of the stories revolve around a character, revolve around characters discovering they have secret siblings. Yeah, that's nice that they're going through a similar thing that you're going through. Yeah, it's a fun. Okay, here. Yeah, it's a very fun show. Do you have sister? Do you have a sis? Do you have any siblings? Or are you an only child? Are you a very cool only child like me? What was I saying? Oh, you gross. Yeah. Yeah. What are you the youngest, the oldest, or are you somewhere in the middle? Oh, how could they do that to you? Hey, how could they do that to you? 12 years? They waited 12 years? You're not terrible. You're not a terrible person. They waited 12 years. That's so funny. That feels like a crime. What? You can't do that. Wait 12 years, then have another kid? Mark, Fade, you're only a terrible person. You're only a terrible person if we look at the more ancient version of that word, which means thunderous. You're a thunderous person. So I'll take it as a fact that you're a thunderous sister and a thunderous person. That's so funny. No, thunder in a good way. In a good way. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are very much, but yes. But in a good way, Fade. You're thunderous in a good way. But that is really quite funny. It's like you're McQueen. You're Steve McQueen. I'm vaguely aware that this might actually be a car reference, but I'm gonna go with that. You're Steve McQueen, the actor. Lightning McQueen. Anyways, I don't want it to be true. By the way, I because I love Shakespeare. You're German. Yeah, yeah. How dare they? But how's it going, Buck? How is the filming? Yeah, very interesting. Eh? Guys, okay. Here's a fun question. Okay, for a million points, can you guess where I was born? Nobody. Woo! Welcome to the pleasures of voting. Wrong, wrong. Yes, I was born in Saudi Arabia. I am from Texas, but no, I was born in Saudi Arabia. Well, I think you were there when I talked about this, and I don't know if I've ever talked about this with Fade. Yeah. Yeah, fan base. Woo, fan base. So, like, hey, do you visit Germany often? Are you a German citizen? So, okay, so, hey, how dare you? How dare you? Rocket League in front of me? No. Is that a fun game? So explain it. Fade, are you like is one of your parent not Fade, A? Aren't they wacky, Robin? Aren't they wacky? Oh, you guys are fun. So many Jimmys in American talk show hosts. Oh, okay. So I was wondering. So can you like claim German family? Can you claim like your German citizenship? Yeah, he's a talk show host now. Nobody talks about that, but Jimmy Neutron hosts his own talk show. Yeah. So the family, my mother's side of the family is super German. We probably not. Let's see. You might. I don't know. How to claim German citizenship. I'm just curious. Okay, of course the Germans are. Of course the Germans are overtly literal. Okay, King Shark is a shark, but he's the king of sharks. He's King Sharkman. Okay, so okay. Oh, from Hamburg, yeah. Okay, this took all night, but we're now in. I've now officially got the baseline level of a character. And kind of my idea was, now that we're here, we can. I'll take suggestions from the audience here about what to put her in. So what would you like? What would you like this character? What would you like this character to be wearing? That was kind of my. That was kind of my idea, but I always forget how long it takes to just draw the anatomy correctly. For me, at least, I'm not. I'm never really going to be a fast artist. Okay, that's the entire outfit. You're having fun with emojis today, aren't you, Fade? Okay, we'll put a hoodie. We can do we can do both. Long glorious hair, hoodie. Long okay, curly hair. Woo! You've become all emojis. So Fade, no, sorry, A. How many times have you visit? Do you visit Germany often? That's very cool, by the way, that you do. Okay, we can do that. Okay, Fade, pie in the sky. Oh, that's so cool. Hey, that's so amazing. Yeah. Okay. America. You know, you spend a long time on the anatomy, and then okay, what else should we have her wear or be? Okay, well, I didn't freckles. Okay, okay, I'll Jordans. Okay, okay, we'll put freckles on her. Yes, I can do that. That will probably be. I'll do that in a minute because. Uh, okay. Let's do almond eyes. Yes. Okay. Yay, we're getting it. So super charismatic with a big brain. Okay. Smart. Okay. That is very possible. Ripped off. Okay, I can do that. Boop, 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 boop. Big brain. I just put Rizzy/smart. Okay. Almond eyes. Oh. Okay. Okay, that's what they look like. Megamind. Okay. No, wait, let's do this. Okay. Okay. Just normal jeans? Okay. Any other any other suggestions? I'm taking all. I'm taking as many suggestions as people give me. Okay, what should her tattoo be? Okay. Don't. We'll give her both. Okay, don't mind me. I am dead. Okay. Give her. Okay, we'll give her. Don't mind me. I'm dead. Give her a cool gauntlet. Give her a bird. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. And a koi fish. And I totally know what a koi fish looks like. Yeah, a little bit. I guess that's what I'm going for. She could be Thanatos' daughter. Uh, well, that was kind of my idea. Okay, and I totally know what a koi fish is right off the bat, and I don't. I probably should look it up, but we'll just go with that for right now. Okay, I keep wanting to draw. Okay. Any else? Feel free to give me any other recommendations. We're taking all. I'm taking any and all recommendations. This is something I've always wanted to do on here, but I've never been. I'm not particularly good at drawing lips, but okay. I usually just do a big... That's so funny. Okay. Um, okay. Any other? I always just usually draw a line because that's easier than drawing lips, but I've given her lips. Okay. Okay, let me see. She only has two hands. Okay. Okay. Holding a bag of Oreos. Okay, and the other hand. Okay, she has milk in one hand and Oreos in the other. Good. Okay. Boop, boop. Okay. Protohydron. Yes. Well, we're gonna do more stuff. I'm gonna do a second thing in a minute, but we'll get going. Okay. Okay, give her one eye, the other. Okay, that's easy because that means I only have to draw one eye. You know what I'll do? I'll give her an eye patch, and then underneath the eye patch you can see a scar. Okay. Sure, I can do that. 1 second. I'm supposed to draw her having all of almond eyes. What is a split pupil? Split pupil. What does that look like? Oh, that. Okay, yeah. I figured that was what it was. But... So like that. And we'll... Yeah, I see it. I see it. Yeah, okay. Okay. Any other notes? Feel free to... Okay. I feel like we're getting we're yeah, you guys know I'm somewhat of a simple my art style is somewhat simple, but okay. I feel we're getting closer to this idea that I have. Okay. Any other thoughts? What feel free. This is we can do eye bags. Okay. Woo. Black eye. Okay. Not all that different from eye bags, but yeah. I feel like she got into a big fight over these Oreos. I don't know how, but okay. Did she kill this guy for her Oreos? I feel like she killed this guy for her Oreos. Okay. Worth it. Girl boss. Girl boss. Okay. So what would we name this character? Sure. Before you go to bed, A, what would we name this character? What should we all name this character? Okay, Gloria. Gloria Gloria Nether Portal. I'm gonna go. I know that wasn't a pitch for the name, but I like the idea of calling her Netherport. Gloria Netherport. Gloria Nether Portal. No, we can't do that, Jaden. It's copyrighted. Gloria Gamora Netherport. Okay, that's the name. Okay, so here's my idea. Here's this idea. Here's this idea. I'm gonna write a short flash fiction. I'm gonna write a short flash fiction with this character as the star, and I'll try and get it. I'll try and get it done by this Saturday. That's that's kind of my idea. I have a grander idea. I want to kind of force. Well, you guys kind of gave me the idea. Of course, it's going to be about the Oreos. Gloria Gamora Nether Portal. Okay, A. So it's always really great talking to you. Gloria. So I want to start putting stuff out on the internet for free while I try and get other things published. So this is. I've been thinking a long time about doing kind of a series about a superhero a university that seems to attract a good deal of superheroes and other fantastical beings. So we're gonna make her one of them. We're gonna make her. Okay. So it's Okay, I just need a place to write her name down because I like that name. Gloria. Do it. Gamora Galoria. Okay. Whew. I've had that idea for a while to do something like this. No, that's an L. No, that's an L. That's an L. Yeah, Galora. Anyways. Okay. Isn't she beautiful? Ah, Galoria. Isn't she great? Okay. I mean, I'm up for going longer. How long has it been? 2 hours? Yes. Okay. The question is, why did you go for those Oreos? What do those Oreos mean beyond having a delicious, tasty snack? Yes. She's a true girl boss, she's an inspiration for young women everywhere. She just really likes Oreos? Okay. And that guy just had some Oreos. It's like, screw that guy. Why does he get to have Oreos and I don't? Okay. So this thing I have right here, right now, it's this is liquid graphite. Just wanted to play with it for a second. Isn't it cool? I went to an art store yesterday and I picked this up and I was very excited to come home and play with it. Very nice, Jane. That's very cool, Jane. This is probably not the right paper for this. I probably should. One lesson I don't learn is to not use this paper for liquid stuff because I have appropriate paper, but it's all the way in the other room, guys. It's all the way in the other room. Okay. So, uh, uh, that's good. Yeah, it's a very alive ecosystem writing thing. It really is. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. I'm just waiting for this to dry. Okay, there we go. I wonder if it erases like. No, not really. Okay. That always I should just I've always had that idea for a while to like let you guys design a character, then I write a story based around it. I should just draw the baseline, the blank character beforehand before I get on stream. But Fade, you know what? Fade, Jaden, Robin, who I think is still here, Mama Buckle. That would require me to plan stuff beforehand, have prep. That would require me to prep stuff beforehand, and that is just not going to happen. That just doesn't happen. How dare your best friend, who may very well be sleeping. At this exact moment. Okay. I really miss doing art. It kind of was on the back burner for a while, art, and I really missed it. It feels very good to be doing art again. Okay, Fade. Who's still here? Who's still here? Yeah, who's still here? I know you're here, Jaden, but who else is still here? I mean, I'm willing to keep going. I'm in a good mood. I've been I've been pretty miserable past few days, honestly. So it's been nice. It's nice talking to you guys. I gotta admit, it's nice talking to you guys. It's very nice to get out of that headspace I've been in. How dare you? It's fine. But it's been very nice. I have to admit, it's been very nice. I'm enjoying. I've been enjoying these streams quite a lot. I hadn't. I actually hadn't been enjoying streaming for a while. It's been. I've been quite. I found it quite an anxious thing, but I'm liking it again. So yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try and be on pretty often during the summer months, because let's face it, that's where I get most of my views. Most of the best views come during the summer. So, but I'm enjoying these. So I do need to exercise more. I was doing good, and then I got distracted. I got distracted by exercise, by life. Life got in the way, and it kind of. I want to get back to running. I'm actually, Robin, if you're still here, I'm actually so jealous of you that you're running, because I'm like, I loved running when I was doing it consistently. It was one of my favorite things to do, and then it just stopped, and I'm mad at myself that I gave it up. I want to get back to it because I used to really love doing it, and I'm mad at myself that I gave it up. I know I sometimes come across as like prickly. I don't mean to. I don't know. I was able to do that, Jaden. I was running like 5Ks every day for a while. I was. You want to know why? A little bit. I was running so intensely for a long time because my aunt was staying here for a while, and truth be told, I kind of just wanted to get out of the house. I was getting pretty sick. I just didn't want to deal with her. She's nice, sort of. She's quite. Anyways, Robin, if you're still here, you should do it. You should do a 5K. You should do a 5K. I want to do a 5K. Okay. I am going off a reference now, by the way. It's Spanish. Anyways. Um, so I've had this idea in my head for a while. Um, of doing a series of short stories about superheroes and just releasing them free online. Because Jaden, I do need to start. I want to start releasing like some writing for free that anybody can read. Because there's stuff I'm working on right now that I'm trying to get published by like more traditional ways, but I should also be trying to. I also want to be doing some self-publishing where everybody just can read it. And if that's successful, then I might just say sod the traditional stuff. But for right now, oh, thank you. Oh, you're over there now. Yeah. Well, it's. I think I can. I'm somewhat confident that I can pull off getting published in traditional ways. I don't want to say for real because people get angry when you say for real. But published more traditionally. So what it will be is, well, we'll see. We'll see how I do this. I have a few ways of I'm thinking of doing it, but we'll see. But yeah, this is so one idea I've had is like I'll just draw up a character, letting you guys come up with the how they look, and then I'll write a story. Yeah. Yeah. That's real. I agree with you. That is really frustrating me. Takeda. God, how can I not pronounce his name? I've said his name. Director of Thor: Love and Thunder is a great director. He's made many really good, funny movies. He's won an Oscar for God's sake. Taika Waititi. He was showrunner. He was the showrunner and director of one of my favorite TV shows, Flight of the Conchords. And it's like, oh, he's such a terrible director. He doesn't know how to direct. Like, man, he's directed so many movies, so many good things. Honestly, like, I don't know. It feels like the problem with Thor: Love and Thunder is that weirdly it's been edited down. Like, it feels like they didn't do half the stuff they wanted to do. But it's like, I don't know. Who are you looking at specifically? Who are the people saying that about? Because yeah, it did. Yeah, it did feel. I feel like he did everything he wanted to in with the character in the first movie. He did. Something felt like it went wrong in Marvel the past few years, but well, Jaden, you have to understand. There are a lot of people out there who will only see franchise films. And they may not ever see the director's other movies beyond that. Like the directors of Captain Marvel are really important people. Like have made really good movies. Have made really fun good movies. And but for some reason, like you can kind of. I like them as a directing team quite a lot, but yeah. Oh, what? Oh yeah. What's going on? Who's directing what? I mean, I wouldn't even blame him for that. That guy. I wouldn't even blame him for that. That guy just walked into a disaster. You know, the fact that that movie is somewhat comprehensible is I think a testament. The fact that that movie is even comprehensible, I think, is a testament to his skill. Has that been announced? Officially yet? Because didn't he direct? I remember. I think he directed a very good movie, if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, he's a horror guy. Yeah, no, he directed perfectly good movies. Ugh, people. Yeah, he directed the It. He directed the It remakes or readaptations. Yeah, no, he's perfectly fine. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't like that movie was just such a disaster behind the scenes that it getting out at all is was a testament. No, I was just sorry. Jen, that movie went through so many directors that I kind of lost track of who was directing it at the end. But that's yeah that yeah yeah. Has that been officially announced though that he's going to direct that? I mean, it's not a terrible choice. He kind of who would be a good Batman director? Oh, I know who would be a great Batman director. Oh, it just hit me who would be Jeremy Shatta or yeah he. Oh my god, he would be so good as a Batman director. He'd never do it, but he would be. Oh man, I was just Jeremy Shaler. I was just thinking like, well, who would be a good Batman director? It just hit me. Oh, now I'm mad because he would be so good. The guy who did Green Room and Blue Ruin. He would be such a good Batman director, and now I'm angry that he's not going to get to do it. And he probably never do it because he's like, but still. Sorry, I mean, realistic. I would argue that the Nolan Batman movies aren't necessarily realistic. They have great verisimilitude. They put in a lot of effort to make themselves feel like to work you through the logic of their world, but realistic they aren't. You know, I wouldn't argue that they're realistic. Superhero movies can never be totally realistic, but there's a difference between movies that can build believable logic and movies that are realistic. Sorry, I'm now in my head about this idea I had where it's like, what if Jeremy Shedd directed a Batman movie? I'm like, oh, that would be so awesome. He's such a good director. Uh, I don't know if you've no, you've definitely never seen the movies he's made. Probably not appropriate. Yeah, all the Batman movie. No. Oh no. What do we think about Joel Schumacher? Yeah. See, it's fun. It's funny because Clooney was only in one of them. It was Val Kilmer and then George Clooney. Yeah, those movies are. I don't know. You know, the thing with those movies are, if I could, the thing with those movies are, I feel like some of the criticism of those movies converge into kind of homophobia, but also the movies aren't good. So I think somebody working with that style who has more of an. Okay. Jaden, I think I'm tired. I think I'm going to call it here. I just don't have the energy, I think, to continue forward. But I think we're going to call it here. Yeah. It's really good talking to you guys. I like you guys. I'm just realizing I haven't looked at my link tree in forever. Oh. Yeah. Are you sure you want to subscribe? Yeah, I'm ready. It's me, man. It's me. Okay. I'm going to call it here. Boy, my YouTube videos did terrible, which is fun. I'm going to call it here. Yeah, it's good talking to you guys. I will get on that story. I'm planning for Saturday. Hopefully, it's only going to be about 1,000 words. So, fortunately, you guys gave me a good plot line, and that's what we'll do. Okay, night.